Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome. My name is Jody, and I have my husband Randy here with us as well.
Good morning.
And so, what we'd like to do is, I'm just going to scooch it over a little bit, is go through how we transformed our lives. We started 4 years ago. That if it's okay with you, we'll share a little bit of our story first. That I used to have a different direct selling company 4 years ago, and I had was in that company for 13 years. And a fellow friend of mine had posted a transformation of her husband. And as I'm reading this on Facebook, all I could think of is, wow, this is exactly my husband's story. Like, how did she know this? And so I called her up. I said, I'd really like to know more about this. As I was aging in my mid-40s, I was seeing the scale go the other direction, and I wasn't happy with that. What you guys may not realize is that my husband and I actually met in a health club, and we've worked out our whole life. So it wasn't as if we had stopped working out or done anything differently. It just wasn't working anymore. And so I called her up. I'll let you kind of jump in and share a little bit about what wasn't working for you.
You mean how you forced this whole thing on me? I'd had a couple of injuries over the years, my back, and then I tore the meniscus in my knee, and wasn't working out at the levels that I had been, and put on a lot of weight, suffered some depression, and was generally grumpy. I flew international at the time, and I would jump 13 time zones, and my body was a mess, no energy, and exhausted all the time. And so Jody came home and said, hey, let's do this this system. And I said, well, no, I'm fine with it. I'm good with what I'm doing. And I was working out 5 or 6 days a week and really working out. And so she subtly said, well, how's that working for you? And I just kind of looked at her, and she said, I tell you what, we're both going to do it, and I'm going to do it to support you. So I begrudgingly started the program and ended up having tremendous results that I did release 37 pounds, and my energy levels came back. I was able to fly the international, and I would recover literally within 24 hours. That I'd be a little bit fuzzy the next morning after getting back, but I was more alert, more energized than I'd been in years. And it's like the fog lifted. I was no longer cranky. That was one of the big things, that I came out of the depression, and I was much better overall than I'd been before.
Right. So those of you who are online, here quickly is our before and after picture, standing in the exact same location in Mexico. And what I really attribute the awakening for us was that I always tell people, you don't know what you don't know. And a couple of the key things that, even though I used to be in the health club industry and we've always been pretty healthy people, what I hadn't really paid attention to is that our society has become extremely overstressed. You know, you think about how many people are in competition to be busy, and, you know, it's almost a badge of honor these days of how busy you are. And, you know, people are overstressed, whether it's at work or home or family or finances, that the overstress wreaks a ton of havoc on our body. The toxins in our society, that the average person right now has about 200 toxins in their body, and our livers, again, are in overload that they were never made to release at that rate. And so that has put extra stress on our body. And then the third one, which is the perfect trifecta, if you will, is that our food is nutritionally bankrupt. And, you know, we go to the grocery store, we look at all the beautiful fruits and vegetables, and we really don't think anything of it. But when you think about how damaged the fields are, and there's pesticides and herbicides and air pollution and overcropping, that we cannot get the same amount of food or nutrition out of the food that we did years ago. And I'm trying to remember what the number is. Like one bowl of spinach back in 1950, you have to eat over 30 some, I think it's like over 35 bowls of spinach to be able to get the same nutritional value. So it's a completely different ball game today.
And I think most people are familiar with the GMOs and the havoc that they wreak. And we're starting to pull away from that, but they don't really understand that all the insecticides and pesticides have killed all the microbes in the soil that break down the soil to release the minerals that the plants take up. And so you're not getting the nutrition through the plants because of that. Right. And that's why it's nutritionally bankrupt.
Right. So we kind of educated ourselves. And one of the things that attracted us to Isagenix is that it was also a very science-based company. And I'm going to hold up another screen. So those of you who are on your phone, we are recording this, so we can go back and you can request the link to see these, or you could message the person who added you to this webinar and they can send you these PDFs as well. But one of the things we're really proud of is that we actually have scientists that have studied our program, and they were peer-to-peer reviews. And what a peer-to-peer review is they test, and they did Isagenix versus the Heart Healthy Diet, and whatever the outcome was, they had to publish. So it wasn't that it was we're paying for a specific outcome. The peer-to-peer review is whatever happened by the end of the study, they have to publish that. And we're proud to say that we kicked the Heart Healthy Diet's butt. And since that publication, we are now in 6 medical journals that everything from weight loss to fitness performance, healthy aging, and releasing toxins, we are now in studies. And we have a bunch of physicians, nurses, chiropractors, doctors on our teams. So I think when you have the science behind it, that speaks volumes as well.
And one of the other aspects is not only did we work out a lot, that we've belonged to a gym membership for years and we actually go to them, but we've also eaten well, organic foods whenever possible, and trying to stay away from the GMOs. And we still couldn't release the weight. We still felt like crap. I had reflux problems, and it was getting worse. And once we got on these systems, all these products, I didn't have that anymore. And we felt better. We had more energy.
Right. And what I will say is that we stand on the claim that we cannot diagnose, cure, or prevent any diseases. What we're going to talk about is how it's worked for us. And what we have learned through our team is that every single body, meaning the physical body, reacts differently to this system. And when I say reacts, it's a positive reaction. And so I can't guarantee what results you're going to have. We're just kind of sharing what we've seen. So while we're talking nutrition, we're going to start with one of our main pillars, and it is our shake. So when we sat down to learn about the shakes, I said, okay, what is so different about our shake compared to everybody else? Because there's so many on the market. And I got a quick education. And one of the things I learned is that our products come from New Zealand, which has the strictest farming regulations in the world. We also have happy cows, which means they are only fed grass. They are never force injected. And so we get them from the right location, we treat the cows right, and then we process it correctly. That we do what's called an undenatured whey processing. And I would really challenge you, if you guys have protein shakes on your shelves at home or you go to the store, look to see if you can find an undenatured whey, because 9 times out of 10, you won't. That denatured is cheaper, more common, and it's a heating process where you actually cook all the goodness out of the protein shakes. Undenatured whey is a slow misting process where you actually keep all of your live enzymes, your probiotics, your prebiotics, all the goodness of what you want out of the protein shake is kept in there. The other important thing is they are complete meal replacements. This isn't a smoothie, this isn't a milkshake, it is a complete meal replacement. And one of our shakes is equivalent to 3 plated meals. And this is another great diagram that, again, if you can't see this because you're on your phone, talk to your coach to have them send you the picture of what is included in one of our shakes. Because when I sit down to eat a meal, I don't think I could eat all of this in one meal. And yet I can drink a shake and be completely satisfied. And the other big key with our shakes is that they're 85% bioavailable. And what that means is that your body actually absorbs the nutrients and uses it. Most protein shakes on your store shelves from the United States are 20% bioavailable. So, I tell people shake versus shakes are not equals, and do your homework, because when we found this is literally the cleanest, best food on the planet. Now, it comes in the tubs like I showed. We have 3 flavors, strawberry, vanilla, and chocolate. We also make them in travel packets. Randy used to be a pilot, and so when he would fly on his trips, he'd just grab as many packets that he needed, and then he didn't have to worry about what time of day he landed. All he had to do was grab water after security or on the plane and take a shaker with him, and he was on the go. So besides being good for us, it simplified and made our life so convenient. And I love that you don't have to sacrifice nutrition for convenience. Now, our shakes are 97% dairy-free. Those of you who do have a dairy allergy, we do have a great dairy-free line. We have a vanilla chai and we have a chocolate. I've heard the chocolate tastes more like fudge brownie batter. Our one son loves the vanilla chai. He is chosen by choice to do the dairy-free, and he likes the vanilla chai. These only come in the individual packets. So we have lines to help with both. And then we talked a little bit about the stress of our society. I jokingly call this product liquid gold. So the Ionix tends to be people's favorite products. And I know I have a couple team members on the line, either Jill or Rhonda or Yvonne. Anybody want to share if this is your favorite product, why you like this product? Go ahead, Yvonne.
I will tell you, I have a lot of back issues from a car accident and a lot of stress with a daughter with special needs. And that has become, for me, Mommy's Wonder Juice. I actually take 2 to 3 servings a day, and it really just helps me balance and helps with the stressors that my body's under, so that I can deal with things a little bit easier.
Right. I agree. And we always tell people 1 dose is mandatory, but I am a huge fan of 2 doses as well. I take my second one midday. And I've had a lot of people who have desk jobs say that it is the perfect pick you up in the middle of the day. So if you get that after lunch kind of sleepy food coma feeling, this will help with that as well. And then we also have professional and collegiate athletes on Isagenix, and they will take up to 6 a day. So my answer to everything, whether you have cravings, for Randy, it helped him get off Coca-Cola, whether it's post-workout stress, whether it's physical, mental stress, my answer will always be have another Ionix Supreme.
Plus, one of the things people don't realize is that stress will show up in different ways, but one of the big ways is it causes inflammation in the body. And the inflammation is what's triggering the diseases that we're having to deal with. So if you reduce the stress, you reduce the inflammation, you have a much healthier body.
Much happier body. So then we have what I think is the heart of our system, and this is our Cleanse for Life. Now you can see this is a cute little 2-ounce bottle, and I'm purposely showing it. It comes in different sizes, but this size is key because when you take the Cleanse for Life, which is 4 times a day, all you do is you take 2 of these mini bottles. It tastes like an unsugared grape juice is how I describe it, and you take it 4 times a day. So those of you who are busy people, you literally throw 6 of these. You take 1 dose in the morning before you leave. You throw 6 of these in a bag or your glove compartment or a backpack, a sling bag, whatever you carry. And you can go throughout your day and you don't have to worry about what are you going to do for food. I actually prefer to cleanse when I am busy, like soccer tournaments, lacrosse tournaments, versus sitting at home. And I will tell you, cleansing is more of a mind game than a hunger game. So if you're home looking at the refrigerator, you're going to talk yourself into you're hungry. If you're out and about doing your day, I actually have my OBGYN on our team. She delivers babies on cleanse days. So when I heard my friend say cleanse, I said, okay, you say cleanse, I hear colon clean out. Talk to me. And she said, no, this works at the cellular level. You know, you're going to release toxins. It's not a liver cleanse. It's not a colon cleanse. It's going to happen at the cellular level. So you're going to, pee it out. You're going to sweat it out. It will come out in your mouth, like you could have bad breath. But it is not anything where you have to be tied to a bathroom. So you don't have to feel like, oh, well, I can't cleanse because I don't have any days off, or it will never work in my schedule. It's portable, it's easy, and you can go about your day.
And I think one of the things that we've learned is that all of these 200 toxins that Jody was talking about have to be stored somewhere in the body. Well, they're stored in cells, in the fat cells. So if you release those toxins, those impurities, and get them out of the body, you're helping your liver be able to function the way that it's supposed to be. And the fat cells are shrinking. So you shrink those, you're going to lose weight, you're going to lose inches.
So some of you are probably thinking, well, how often do I have to cleanse? If you are in a weight loss mode, we recommend cleanse days are a 2-day back-to-back day. And the reason of the second day is that 80% of your fat burning and lean muscle gain happens in that day too. So in your cleansing, you want to, if you're in weight loss, you cleanse 2 times a month. So that's 4 days total. I know different people coach different timings for that. What we have found that works for a lot of our team is we'll recommend you fit a cleanse in your first week, then you take a week off, and then you fit a cleanse in your third week. And we are all about making this work for your life, not against your life. So your suggested calendar may say cleanse on day 3, 4, but really if day 5, 6 is better for you, or 4, 5 is better for you, have this work into your life, not be the excuse that you can't do it. And then again, because we don't live in bubbles and we still breathe air, and I still use hairspray every single day, we take toxins in, and when you hit your goal, no matter what your goal is, you will cleanse once a month. So that's 2 days every 30 days. Piece of cake.
I think so. And just to point out that so many of the so-called diets today don't work because you're not getting rid of the toxins. And so you have the rebound because you haven't been able to rid the body of them. And the weight comes back on even more vigorously afterwards. And that's why diet is kind of a start date and a stop date. And this is a lifestyle.
Right. It's a Band-Aid versus a solution.
Absolutely.
Right. So, and good point. This is a life solution. It's not a one and done, 30 days and you're done. This will incorporate into your lifestyle. And the last pillar we want to talk about is our vitamins and supplements. So we're really proud of these as well. I'm going to show up my last chart for those of you who can see on the computer. This is a fun little graph. Randy and I are wine drinkers, so we're all about getting our resveratrol, which is healthy heart. And so we love that you get to see the visual of how much wine bottles would be in this. But couple key things with our vitamins and minerals. One is that they come in travel packs. So you can see they're prearranged for you. There's an AM and a PM pack because Isagenix has learned that your body does better if you divide your vitamins and minerals into a morning and an evening dose instead of front loading it all in the morning. The other key thing is that they are water soluble, which means you're not peeing out money. Your body is actually going to absorb the nutrients. Now, a common question I will get is, well, why do you need to take vitamins and minerals if your shakes are so good? The sad part is the reason we take vitamins and minerals is to supplement our plated food. Again, coming back to the bankruptcy of nutrition in our foods. So this is to supplement what we're not getting at the grocery store and at the restaurants. And Randy was kind of the vitamin guru of the two of us way before Isagenix. And you calculated how much would it be if you bought all these individually?
I can't remember, $65, $70, no, $135, something like that.
No.
It was a lot of money.
No, individually if you buy, like if you were to buy each of these supplements, it was going to be like $500.
It was just crazy. And they've basically figured out the stuff that the body needs. And I know that the FDA says you need certain percentage for each person each day, but everybody reacts differently to vitamins and their needs and where they are right now. I was vitamin B12 deficient before I started on this, and I was taking additional supplements for that. And since I've been using these Ageless Essentials or Complete Essentials, I haven't been deficient in vitamin B12.
Right. And that was the biggest thing we noticed is that the potency of these were so much stronger. One example we heard is that our vitamin D is equivalent to 7 hours of sunshine. I had to think what the time was. That those of you who may have winter blues, this time of year, that's a huge help when you have that much vitamin D in you. You're not going to feel as sad. And so that's just one example. I like to call the box, it's a facelift in a box, because it is anti-aging at its best as well. So now I'm going to transition and have you focus on you for a second. So my first question is, if nutrition could change two things for you, what would they be? And I would encourage you guests to write them down. Is it that you're lacking energy? Are you needing nutrition and convenience with your busy lifestyle? Are you looking for weight loss? Do you have inflammation, that you have aches and pains that you'd like to help, really get some relief from? Maybe it's fitness performance. That all of us typically have one or two things we're looking to achieve. So even though it's February and it's not New Year's resolutions, I'd like you to write those down. And then the second thing I want you to think about is, how much do I spend on 2 meals? And really pick what those meals are going to be. With those 2 meals, because when you think about it, as I said, we do 2 shakes instead of meals when we're in weight loss. Now, when you hit your goal, you can go back to 1 shake a day and 2 plated meals. And Randy and I tried that, and it lasted for about 2 weeks, and we are officially shake convenient snobs. The effort of trying to think about what a healthy meal is, prepare it, eat it, and clean up after it, I can make, drink, and clean up my shake in less than 3 minutes. So I'm sorry to say I'm really a convenient snob now. You're too, Yvonne. And I have to say, my body feels better on the shakes. Now, I'm also all about incorporating this into your lifestyle. So something we have chosen to do is we follow Isagenix 80% of the time. 20% of the time are cheat days. So we don't have to have 2 shakes a day, but we choose to. So when we have a lot of leftovers in the fridge that we need to clean out before they go bad, or we want to go out to lunch, we do. Make it part of your life. But most times, just for the pace of our life, it's so much easier to just slam a shake and go on.
Well, one of the things also that I've found is that because the concern is, well, do you guys eat anything while you're on the system? And because our metabolism is kicked in, we're working out at a higher level than we were before. We eat more than we did before.
Right. Because we actually encourage 2 to 3 snacks a day, 2 shakes a day, and a plated meal. So depending on how much you exercise will depend on how many snacks you're going to have. This regimen was actually designed for a sedentary person. So the person who does not work out, you're going to have 2 snacks during the day. The person who does work out, you're going to have 3 or 4 depending on your workout regimen, and that's where your coach will work with you personally. So coming back to those meals, thinking about what meals would I replace? We always recommend breakfast because you want to start the day out right. But would that second meal be lunch for you? Would it be dinner for you? And now I want you to really visualize where, when, and how do you eat those meals? Do you eat out every day? I will tell you, my teenage boys, Jimmy John's is their favorite go-to, and it is 8:08 without a drink. I know that for a fact because we're there all the time. So what do you spend on your meals? Do you spend $10 for 2 meals, $20 for 2 meals? Think of your per day, what do I spend for 2 meals? Some of you, it may be $10, $20, $30 per meals. And my next question is, what are you going to invest in you to replace those meals? If you're already spending $10 to $20 in a meal for 2 meals per day, we have systems for both of those. If you're spending $30, $40 a day in 2 meals, heck, we're going to help you save a ton of money. But what are you looking to do? Would you, if you're spending, say, $8 per meal for 2 meals, would you rather bump up and just spend $2 more for 2 meals? Or do you want to go to the highest level, including your vitamins and supplements, and go to the 20?
And I think that the question to ask is, what are you trying to achieve in your goals and maintain? That's the important part.
Right. So really at this point, this is where we like you to go back to your coach, circle around to the person who invited you to the webinar. Share with them, what did you like most about what you heard? What intrigued you? Share with them what your 2 things are that you would like to accomplish with increasing nutrition, releasing toxins, and de-stressing your body. And then share with them, okay, here's what I spend on my 2 meals. Which package do you think would be best for me? Because again, we want to design the system around your goals so you're hitting both your immediate goals and your long-term goals. That again, this is a maintenance thing. So we want to incorporate this into your lifestyle.
And staying within your budget.
Okay. Knowing I have a couple team members on the call, I'm going to unmute. So it's up here, sorry. Yvonne, Rhonda, and Jill, do you have anything to add that I missed on the webinar at this point?
No, you did a great job. Thank you for
Thanks.
doing this.
Yeah. Okay.
I agree. You did a fantastic job.
Oh, thanks. And then Linda and Laura, does anybody have any questions or anything before we send you back to your coaches?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for
Thanks for getting on today, Laura.
I'm here. I had my phone muted.
Okay.
Thanks for being on the call today.
Thank you. I've greatly enjoyed it, and I have learned a lot.
Good. We're glad to hear it. And, one of the things that I love about this system and the company is that the synergy of the teams. We're all about one team, that we're here to link arms with you as much as we can. Whether, we personally enrolled you or somebody else enrolled you. So once you join our system, we do not send you a box and leave you in the cold. Your coach is going to work with you. There's different support pages. And I think that's key when you're talking a health system, because how many people join a club and then quit because there's no support or they don't want to go by themselves? This is a system where you're going to be embraced and loved on and coached. So you're going to succeed with what you're trying to achieve. All right.
Okay.
I hope you guys have a great weekend. Thanks again for logging on, and we'll talk to you all soon.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks.